This video explains how to remove a column from a pandas DataFrame using the Python programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the Python code. As a very first step, we need to import the pandas library, as you can see in the first line of code. And then we also have to create an example data frame using the data frame constructor. So after running these lines of code, a new data frame called data is created, and we can print this data frame below the code box using the print function. And then you can see that we have created a data frame that contains 6 rows and the 4 columns x1, x2, x3 and x4. Now let's assume that we want to drop a single column from this data frame. Then we can apply the drop function, as you can see in the next line of code. And within the drop function, we have to specify the name of the column that we want to remove. And we have to set the axis argument to be equal to the value 1. And in this case, I'm also storing the output of the drop function in a new data frame object that I'm calling data new1. So after running this line of code, this new data object called data new1 is created. And we can print our new data frame below the code box using the print function. And then you can see below the code box that we have created a new data frame that contains the same number of rows as our input data frame. However, the column x1 has been removed. It's also possible to use the drop function to drop multiple columns from a data frame. And this is what I want to show you in the next line of code. So in this case, I'm specifying a list of column names within the drop function. So in this specific example, I want to remove the columns x1 and x3 from our data frame. And as in the previous example, I'm storing the output of the drop function in a new data frame object that I'm calling data new2. And then I'm printing this new data frame below the code box. So as you can see, in this case, we have removed the 2 columns x1 and x3, and we have kept only the columns x2 and x4. In the previous examples, I have explained how to delete columns based on the column names. However, it's also possible to remove columns based on their index positions. And this is what I want to show you in the third example in the 5th code box. So in this line of code, I'm once again using the drop function. However, this time I'm specifying certain index positions that I want to remove. So in this case, I want to remove the columns at the index position 0 and 2. And then, as in the previous examples, I'm storing the output of this in a new data frame object. This time I'm calling this data frame object data new3. And I'm also printing this new data frame below the code box. And then you can see that we have created exactly the same data frame as in the previous example. However, this time we have used the index positions of the columns that we wanted to remove instead of the column names. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.